46. What was happening was I was taking over Aln Mndlshn's old job at Masterson Junior High School. It made me miss him less to do the sort of things he used to do. I drove teachers crazy by bringing up all sorts of weird stuff in class. In order to get away with it, I had to be sure I was ahead of the class so I wouldn't get shot down on tests. Then I'd have to do a lot of outside reading in order to come up with little known, but absolutely authentic, facts to throw at the teacher. There's a gentle art to bugging teachers. You have to sort of pace yourself or you'll spoil it. Sometimes I'd be quiet for a week or more. This was to lull the teacher into a false sense of security. Then I'd spring the result of my latest research and take over the class for a day or two. By rotating classes, I was able to create an explosion in one class or another once or twice a week. I started out developing a tripping program like Alan's, and even spent some time trying to develop a missile whistle like his, but I wasn't really able to get into it. Besides, I found that I didn't hate all the kids in the school as much as I thought I did. Part of that had to do with the corrective gym class. After the first few days, the kids in the class started to eat lunch together. At first, the other kids called us names like the Awkward Squad and the Freak Show. Then we started practicing yoga exercises during lunch. Even after only 2 weeks, most of us could get into some positions that could really hurt you if you were tense or didn't know what you were doing. Some of the regular kids found that out when they tried to imitate what we were doing. One kid sprained his ankle trying to imitate the dying chicken posture. You have to know what you're doing, or you can get really hurt doing yoga. I turned out to be the best chess player in the corrective gym class. Anytime we were tired or not interested, Mr. Winkle would let us knock off yoga and play chess, provided we didn't make any noise and disturb the other kids. Also, we found out that Mr. Winkle came to school a half hour early and did some jogging around the track. We asked him if we could come and jog with him. He said okay, and after that some of us, whoever felt like it, would show up just about every morning. A lot of kids in the corrective gym class were good students. Some of them were in the same classes with me. They liked the Aln Mndlshn imitation I was doing, and sometimes they would back me up. After a while, some of us started to team up on research projects so we could really confound our teachers. So the next time grades came out, I discovered I was getting all A's, even in gym. My parents were pleased, and so was Dr. Prince, who took all the credit for everything. My parents wanted to give me a present for straightening out and getting good grades and not being crazy anymore. I told them that I wanted to throw a party. They said okay, and I wound up taking the whole corrective gym class and Mr. Winkle out for a meal at the Bermuda Triangle Chili Parlor. I hadn't been there since Aln Mndlshn disappeared. I thought it would depress me too much, but I felt like taking all my friends there. I considered inviting Dr. Prince too, but I remembered that I had the bad experience he'd had there and decided not even to mention it to him. So there we were, enjoying our second helping of Green Death chili, when who should walk in but Samuel Clegarsh. "Leonard, my old pupil!" Samuel Clegarsh shouted. "Where have you been all these weeks?" "I've been meaning to come and see you, Mr. Clegarsh," I said. "I've got a message for the mad guru. Will you tell him that his brother, Lance Herschelsheimer, is alive and well and living in Waka Waka?" "We know all about it," Samuel Clegarsh said. "Clegarsh Explainer Scientific Associates has been getting a lot of brand new information of late, but I'm so glad to see you. I've got a message for you, too. Clarence Jimbo was here a few weeks ago and wanted to get in touch with you, but I never did know where you lived. The folk singing thing in New York didn't work out, you know. Poor fellow, he was very disappointed. Wants to go into the health food business in the 14th existential plane of Saturn." "What did Clarence Jimbo want to see me about?" I asked. "He wanted me to give you something," Samuel Clegarsh said. "In fact, he left it with me. If you like, I'll just nip around to the shop and get it. Then I'll come back and you can introduce me to your friends, and we'll have 3 or 4 bowls of Green Death together." Samuel Clegarsh rushed out of the Bermuda Triangle Chili Parlor. He was back in 2 minutes with a strange metallic envelope in his hand. I opened it. Inside was a note on a sheet of something that looked like metal, but felt like plastic. It was from Aln Mndlshn. It said, "Dear Leonard, my parents wanted you to ask your parents if it would be okay for you to spend your summer vacation with me here in the Bronx, if you know what I mean. If they say yes, our friend Rolls Up will be able to arrange all the details. your friend, Aln Mndlshn. And that is the end of Aln Mndlshn, The Boy from Mars by Daniel Pinkwater. And yeah, that was fun to read. I hope you enjoyed. More videos later.